I'm Dennis Schleicher, and I'm a convert to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint, devotional speaker and fireside speaker with the church, and I'm the best-selling author of a transformative autobiography called Is He Nuts? Why Would a Gay Man Join the Church of Jesus Christ? Holy cows! I was a mess, or can I say a hot mess, a big mess? I thought my life was happy, and it wasn't, because I thought that having money and a Mercedes and everything and driving a great car and having a good career was going to make me happy, and it wasn't. And it was to the point where I was so angry at our church because I judged members of our church. And it was all the persecution, when I felt the persecution of all the pioneers, that caused me to say, gosh, they were persecuted just like I persecuted them, and just like I'm persecuted for being a member, for being gay, and a minority myself. So I felt if anybody would love and accept me, it would be members of the church. So I'll give you the short story. I stole the Book of Mormon because I was so angry at this church, and I said, I am not going to pay for this. And now that book has become so precious to me because it's another testament of Jesus Christ, and it gives me insight into things that the Bible I was missing. So I stole the Book of Mormon from the Lehigh Marriott on June 19th, and I was invited to a sacred area of the church where Joseph Smith had grown up, in Palmyra, New York. And I was I was there, and that's when I felt the persecution. And that's when, so I had an entire month that I stole that book that I never read it. And because I just was like, if my friends are going to invite me to go to Palmyra, I'm not joining that church. I'm not paying for this book. And an interesting story, I almost started an LGBT protest at the dedication of the Connecticut Temple. And 9 months later, I was plunged. So I was baptized on August 19th, 2017, and I have to say it was one of the best and most nervous days of my life. Because in our LDS faith, we want to make it, how can it help you, not about me. And that's something that I was told, that's your day. And so we make this about you. And I was, there were people that drove up from Virginia. There were people that flew in from St. George. My friend Derek and Shelby Hall, and Derek performed the baptism, and he was 72 at the time. It was such a blessing. It was like a wedding. It was just, I felt like I didn't have all the answers of what was going to happen to my same-sex attraction or to being gay before I was baptized. And after I was baptized, it's like I just felt clean. I felt fresh. I felt like a completely new person. And then once I received the Holy Ghost, the fourth article of faith, and it was the laying of the hands to receive it, just like Jesus Christ did in the Bible, is I really felt that we are the true church. We are the restored church. And that was just like the beginning. I felt like I was just reborn. And I'll never forget that day. So it was actually members of the ward and the church literally pounced on me, and they were inviting me to dinners and family home evenings, and every Sunday I had dozens of dinner invitations, and I just was like, this is not a church organization, this is a family. And that's how I have felt since I've been baptized. I was baptized within 3 weeks. And I say, you don't need to know everything about the gospel. You just need to have a testimony. And I have a very strong testimony that the prophet of the church is truly called by God. And that the bishopric and the stake presidency truly hold the keys that can guide us as members. The adversary did not want me to go to church. And then it was a gorgeous day, not a cloud in the sky, and I'm one block from the church, and this huge tree limb falls on my car. I could see it like in slow motion, and it hit the front end, and it went up the front hood, up the back, and scraped the whole car. I couldn't even stop to look at the damage. I just pulled into the parking lot, crooked and sideways. I grabbed my stolen Book of Mormon, didn't even look at the damage, walked into the church, and was like, because, yeah, when the adversary doesn't want you to do good or knows you're going to do good, he's going to send out everybody to stop you. So, one of the funniest stories now is my best friend Debbie, who I invited to come to my baptism, and she said, she gave me every excuse in the book as to why she didn't want to come to the baptism. And finally, it was all these made-up excuses. We're going out of town, we're going on vacation, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then the last, and I just knew they were made up. And the last one was, well, I have to be honest with you. I just don't trust the members of the church. They smile too much. And I was like, well, sister, if you have what we have, you'd be smiling too. Because, yeah, we do smile a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that because we have a glow. We have a kick in our step. And people have noticed that after I was baptized. They're like, did you change your hair? Did you get a new job? You know, what's new about you? Because you glow. So that's... If I didn't join the church, I don't know how I would have gotten through COVID because of the fact that I don't think I would have survived. I don't think, because I wouldn't have had the camaraderie of the mission, the ward, the stake, the congregation, the members, the families, the support and the love, and the people reaching out to make sure I had food and, you know, everything was okay. And I know I wouldn't have been able to survive. I know that without a doubt. What we're taught is to read doctrine. And James 1:5, any of us lack wisdom, ask of God. And that's what I have for anybody looking into this church. James 1:5, if you're questioning this church or if somebody's trying to put you down for joining this church, any of you lack wisdom, ask of God. So for members of the LGBTQ plus community or identify as gay, bisexual, whatever, just know that you are loved and that I love you. And I don't care if you're in the church or out of the church. You are still an eternal brother or sister to myself. And that is something that is a huge example to me because we need you. I was told by a general authority in the church, we need more LGBT children sharing charity in the pure love of Christ. And I will love and accept you no matter what. Mission president or somebody once told me that if you lose if you all of a sudden became straight or heterosexual, you wouldn't have the empathy and the compassion and the love for the people you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with somebody who doesn't or tends to be a little hostile towards you for this, just know that you can talk to other people, that there are people that do care about you. Reach out to myself, Becky McIntosh, Scott, Richard. There are thousands of people you could talk to. And that's something that just know that you're not alone.